Aviation advocates are raising concerns about firefighting resources at Canadian airports, including those in this province. Some say that without changes to federal aviation regulations, the safety of the traveling public could be at risk.
Most of the Canadian airports are not prepared to do rescue with the current setup.
George Power is a retired firefighter. He had a decades-long career at the airports in Wabush, Gander, and St. John's, and now he's advocating for upgraded safety regulations.
If you can just visualize a major aircraft landing at St. John's Airport today, and 300 people on board, you better be ready to perform at a high level.
CBC News has obtained a debriefing report from a 2022 emergency exercise held here at St. John's International Airport. According to that debriefing note, at the time, the airport was staffing 3 firefighters per shift, 24/7. The report had 6 recommendations, including quadrupling that number to 12 firefighters per shift. The Union of Canadian Transportation Employees, which represents St. John's Airport firefighters, refused to comment for this story. The airport also declined an interview, and it takes issue with that report. In a statement, it says it wasn't officially generated by the airport authority, and it doesn't reflect the view of the airport or everyone at the training exercise. According to the airport, Canadian aviation regulations require a minimum of 2 firefighters per shift at an airport the size of St. John's International, and the airport says it exceeds that requirement. But this former St. John's Airport firefighter says the regulations don't cut it.
The Canadian aviation regulations around emergency preparedness do not meet the global standards, and they're not capable of rescuing passengers. To rescue passengers, you need enough firefighters to be able to enter the aircraft after the passengers have evacuated. Time is essential when you're dealing with aircraft and jet fuel and all the other hazards that are associated.
St. John's Regional Fire Department is on call in case of emergency. Its union president has concerns about adequate training.
As firefighters right across this country, right across North America, we show up and we're going to do what we're going to do. Sometimes that puts our own life at risk and our life at jeopardy. However, with significant training and proper training, we mitigate those risks. In this situation with the airport responses right across the country, not just locally in St. John's, but we feel that there should be more and could be more training provided.
A St. John's Regional Deputy Fire Chief responded to that assertion with a statement, saying personnel would not be required to perform any task outside of what they are trained and certificated to perform as part of their regular duties. Last year, Liberal MP Ken Hardy introduced a private member's motion, warning regulatory shortfalls are needlessly putting the safety of the flying public at risk and calling on the government to make changes. In another statement, Transport Canada said the federal government is holding consultations on potential changes to regulations, but couldn't say when the changes would come. Darrell Roberts, CBC News, St. John's.